So many
Sure.
people live with that shortage mentality, and I believe in a prosperity mentality. I
Yeah.
totally believe
Sure.
that it is a mindset, and
100%.
I had, say, 30 years of negative mindset before I really started programming my mind and creating this prosperity mentality, which has
Sure.
resulted in money coming to me. I totally
Sure.
believe that. How do we get through to those people who are listening? We're going to have over 1,000, maybe 2,000 views of this by the end
Yep.
of the day. How do we get through to these people? What's the first step they can take to switching? They may not be as fired up as Shaka Dyson. They
I
may not,
understand.
they may not be as fired up as Billy Merritt, but what can we do to shift that awareness to get them thinking prosperity?
Yeah. So, what you have to understand is you get what you focus on.
Yeah.
You will always find and you will always get what you focus on. When I lived in poverty, I was surrounded by poverty. Listen to me. When I lived in poverty, it wasn't just me. I lived in a building with 12 other apartments that were all run down, right? And I lived in the basement. I lived in the basement apartment, okay? I lived in an apartment so small that I could sit in my living room, in my pull-out couch, by the way, because I didn't have a bed. So I could sit in my living room or lay in my living room and reach in the kitchen and move my stove. That's a true story, right? I lived in the basement and didn't have heat down there. So when it would snow, my window was ground level. And when it would snow, the ice would form on the inside of my window. I remember being able to take a butter knife and chisel the ice off the inside of my window. What I wasn't doing, I was focusing on the poverty. I was focusing on the excuses. I was focusing on the victim mentality. I was focusing on what I didn't have. Oh, woe is me, because that was easy. Right? Misery loves company. And so everybody that lived around me was in the same situation that I was. It didn't make me feel that bad. Why? Because I could walk outside my door or I could walk out of my building and guess what? They're poor too. Guess what? They're walking too. Guess what? They're going all across the street to the laundry and tanning connection to do their clothes too. Guess what? They're walking over to the Aldi's to do their grocery shopping too. Guess what? They're catching the bus too. You see what I'm saying? So when people are around you, when you're associated with so many people that are in the same position that you are, that you don't feel as bad, but you get what you focus on. So if you're living in a paycheck to paycheck situation, then you have to change what you focus on. You have to start focusing on people who are in positions that you want to be in. If you don't know any, heck, start reading books. Start looking on the internet. Everybody has one of these. Start using your phone and just watching YouTube videos of people who are in the situation that you want to be in. And then start figuring out what they did. Because I promise you, none of them are special. They just approach success differently. That's it. There's nothing different about Shaka Dyson other than the way I wake up and approach life now. There's no Superman in me. There's no me putting my pants on two legs at a time. That don't happen. But the way I approach life now is completely different than the way I wake up like I did back then. So if you are in that situation, immediately change what you focus on and then immediately remove people who can't help you get to the next your next destination or your next goal. Stop dealing with people who are toxic. Stop dealing with people who are negative. Stop dealing with people who can't do, and start putting people who can do in your life, and start surrounding yourself with those type of people. I promise you, you'll get yourself out of that situation for sure.
Shaka, I am totally into what you're saying. I believe it wholeheartedly, and I think that we get what we focus on. And
100%.
I'm gonna ask you again. And guys, pay attention out there.
Sure.
Pay attention and put 3 stars by this. My producer over here, we're gonna share this again. What Shaka has told us is you get what you focus on. So I'm just gonna ask you plain and simple. If I focus on money, will I get more money?
100%. If you focus on it, listen, if you focus on it then you're going to take action on what you focus on. So if you're in a situation and you make 20 grand a year, 30 grand a year, 40 grand a year, and you say, I want to make more money, then start focusing on, pick a number, start focusing on that. I want to make 100 grand a year. Great. Start focusing on those people who make 100 grand a year. What is it that they do? How is it that they wake up? What job, what work is it that they do? How much attention are they getting? How do they approach their day every single day? What does their schedule look like? Absolutely. So if you start focusing on money, you're going to figure that part out because it's all in your approach, attitude, and your action. That's what it is. Approach, attitude, and action. You will get money if you focus on it. But unfortunately, most people, when I was in that situation, most people focus on the shortages and what they don't have and the negativity. Switch that around.
So how important are goals? You know, everybody has opinions about goals. I feel very strongly about certain things about goals. Tell us your rules or your advice on goals and how we should approach our goals.
Yeah, if people have different opinions about goals, I'd find that odd, man, if they want to succeed. But goals are everything. It's why you get up. It's opportunity. It's possibility, right? It's what's in front of you. It's what you're shooting for. It's the target. Yeah. I mean, goals are everything. Goals are your potential, right?
Yes.
Getting uncomfortable, right? Because you're going after your goals. You got to have big goals. You got to have massive goals. Your target has to be humongous, right? If you want to get up and have a great attitude, you want to get up for something, you want to have energy, you want to stay fired up every day, you want to feel like you're getting up for a reason and you're doing things on purpose, get yourself some big goals. Yes. Stop thinking small. Get yourself some massive goals and then go out there and get it.
Yeah. And so I'm so glad you said that. When I said people have different opinions, I believe you should write your goals down every day. And I believe you should have huge goals because if you have small, attainable or easily attainable goals, you're more likely to quit. If you really have big goals and I teach to fantasize about your goals, to feel as if you already have them and, start drawing that into existence. If you'll have the energy, you'll get up early, you'll do all those things if you have goals with meaning attached to them. Do you write your goals down?
I don't write them down every day. No, I'm living mine out. Right. Yeah. So it's not that I write mine down every day. They're in concrete. They're drilled. They're in concrete. I drive in the neighborhood and I look at the houses that are my goals. I'm networking with people who are in the situations that I want to be in, right? The Grant Cardones, the Glenn Lundys of the world, right? Those people I keep in my network. Those are my goals. Building my business is my goal, right? So I don't necessarily write them down every day, but I stay laser focused on my goals 24/7.